Winter only worsened in 1923 Season 2, Episode 2, and the cold brought plenty of tragedies and new opportunities with it, but it wasn't clear if Elizabeth Dutton, Michelle Randolph, died during the wolf attack. Winter is closing in on the Dutton family in 1923 Season 2. Kara, Helen Mirren, already had to kill a mountain lion, Elizabeth was bitten by a wolf, and Jacob, Harrison Ford, and his cowboys were stranded in a blizzard. The cold continues to threaten the entire cast of 1923, and some of the details of the newest episode may have been missed in all the commotion. While the Duttons in Montana were braving the elements, the rest of the show also had their hands full. Tiana Rainwater, Amina Neves, and company had to scramble to see if they could stay on Charles Goodnight's ranch. Spencer Dutton, Brandon Sklenar, got tangled up with the mafia, and Alexandra, Julia Schlaffer, had a harrowing boat ride. A lot happened, but the burning question after 1923 Season 2, Episode 2, is whether Elizabeth died in the harrowing wolf attack on the Dutton Lodge. All those developments deserve some explanation and an idea of what they mean for the rest of the Yellowstone spin-off show. While waiting out the blizzard in the speakeasy, Banner Creighton told Clyde that he was afraid of Donald Whitfield. Creighton and Whitfield had been working together to destroy the Duttons and take the Yellowstone since the ending of 1923 Season 1, so the fact that Creighton is afraid of his business partner has some major implications. Creighton may decide that it's safer and better to side with the Duttons over Whitfield, and he may become an unlikely ally in 1923 Season 2. He has his problems with Jacob, but Creighton seems to consider Whitfield a bigger threat. Another reason Creighton may turn on Whitfield is because of his wife Ellie. Ellie has already warned Banner that lying with dogs only results in fleas, and he may take her warning to heart now that he's seen how easily Whitfield can see through people. Creighton also doesn't have the same problems with Spencer Dutton that he does with Jacob, and he may be more willing to work with the younger Dutton. Father Renault and Marshall Kent have been searching for Tiana Rainwater, and they ran into quite a bit of trouble in Oklahoma. Renault and Kent were ambushed by a group of Comanche children while at their camp, and though they repelled the attack, there seems to be trouble brewing between them. Kent and Renault had an argument about their views on race and how to assimilate Native Americans into the white population, and Kent revealed that he's a much crueler and more bigoted person than Renault, who is no saint either. After Kent executed one of the Comanche children, Renault clearly had his reservations about his traveling partner. As bigoted and vicious as Renault is, he's still a religious person, and he may decide that Kent is too cruel to continue traveling with. Renault may even have a sort of redemption story in 1923 Season 2, and he may turn on Kent in favor of helping Tiana. At the very least, Kent may have to go after Tiana by himself, which would give her a much better chance of escaping with her life. Alexandra also had a small update towards the end of 1923 Season 2, Episode 2. After embarking on a ship bound for America at the end of 1923 Season 2, Episode 1, Alex saw quite a bit of turbulence on an angry sea. She was bounced around the cabin as water rushed in through the hull, and it was an all-around rough start to her journey. Alex's trip to America probably won't get any easier once she's off the boat, however, and there could be quite a bit more pain in store for her before she gets to Montana. Spencer's Italian friend Luca brought him to his brother in Galveston, Texas, but there were more problems in store. Though Maceo welcomed Spencer and tried to reward him for saving Luca, Spencer tried to leave Galveston as soon as possible. Maceo took offense to that and forced Spencer to bootleg some of his illegal whiskey to Fort Worth, Texas. Maceo also gave Spencer some money to bribe police and a handgun to kill anyone who got in his way, so he'll likely get into even more trouble in 1923 Season 2, Episode 3. Spencer's new job as a bootlegger is certainly a detour, but he is still making progress on his way to Montana. Fort Worth is about 300 miles closer to Montana than Galveston is, and Maceo also lets Spencer keep the truck after he delivers the whiskey. What new problems await him there or on the road, however, remain to be seen and could end up delaying him even more. Spencer still has a very long way to go before he gets home. The most shocking moment of 1923 Season 2, Episode 2, came in the show's final minutes. Elizabeth was bitten by a wolf earlier in the episode, and she was treated for rabies by the doctor and his nurse. In the middle of the night, Kara heard a bump and a scream from the living room, only to discover that the wolf had returned, crashed through the lodge's doors, and mauled the nurse, not Elizabeth, to death. The nurse had offered to sleep on the couch, and Elizabeth stormed off to her room upstairs, so Elizabeth is still alive in 1923 season 2. Even though Elizabeth didn't die from the wolf attack, she will still have to be treated for rabies. She's already received one of the 12 shots she needs to receive, but given how much of a fight she put up for the first one, the following 11 won't be easy. Elizabeth also lamented how difficult life on the ranch is, and asserted that she was going to leave the Yellowstone as soon as the storm passed. It seems that Kara will have to talk Elizabeth down from the ledge, or at least stall long enough for Jack to get out of the snowdrift. Notably, during the wolf attack, Elsa Dutton's narration spoke about how winter is hell. The wolf ties directly into that metaphor. The wolf is a sign of winter, and the fact that it killed the nurse inside the lodge proves that no one is safe from the perils of the cold. It's also notable that the wolf only came after Kara killed the mountain lion in 1923. Donald Whitfield could be interpreted as the wolf, and it may be a sign that he's going to spill some blood soon. Only time will tell how many people will die in 1923 season 2. What do you think? Tell us in the comments and keep watching Film Buff Baby.